I just put it out there. I was just joking. I had to put a disclaimer out there. Let people know I'm not telling you to relapse. As soon as they hear my joke, they'll be like, Mimi did it. She did it. She told me to go back to the streets because a crackhead deserves to have their crack. Because if I don't have it, I'm going to act up. They were like, Mirta, I thought crack makes you act up. No, wrong drug. Don't do the meth. Do the heroin, abuse the Percocet, and smoke the crack. Stop acting up. They're like, Mirta, you can't suggest stuff like that. Look, I just want to let you guys know, it's not my fault. These people are doing things they should not be doing. Okay? I don't need them to be pretending that they can high function and holding in tweaking moments or movements, whatever. They were like, we understood that. I was like, oh my God, I know. But for argument's sake, you apparently don't understand what you are and aren't allowed to do in public. They're like, Mirta, weren't you out there fucking screaming off the top of your head? Talking about send me the Attorney General and the Pentagon employees and agents? Well, guys, does it look like they should probably come speak to me? Everybody's like, oh shit. What had happened was, that's not what they say in the news though. They're just like, today, there's an individual in the world that has hurt us. They're like, we're not allowed to say that. I was like, shut up. There's an individual in the world who has hurt us, and maybe we should give these crack fiends their crack. Somebody in the back was like, isn't it the same thing as letting them eat dark chocolate or like chocolate in general? Oh, you mean sugar rushes? No, we don't need them amped up. They said, what about a Benadryl? I said, no, I just use that to sleep. They were like, likely story. Bitches, I don't want the Ambien. They said, oh, wait a minute. Or the Trazodone. They said, wait a minute. I thought she was a pill-popping animal. We have reverted to... Guys, I've never banged before, okay? They're like, that's not what we saw. That's not what I meant. They're like, wait a minute, what else does bang mean? I don't know, hit against something? They were like, does it drop top in your heart? I said, yeah, like an 8-ball. And the only way that happens is if you have a pool stick. I'm like, I know. You can find one in a hospital nowadays. They said, that doesn't belong there. So it's okay. Maybe they need it for their break. You guys cannot have me out here like this. They were like, I heard she got evicted, so I guess they're putting the crackhead back on the streets. No, honey, they need me to go regulate the crackheads, and they don't want to pay for it. They're like, oh, shit, wait a minute. What do you mean they don't want to pay for it? Guys, there's not enough money in the budget because there is no budget. Every mayor and governor they just started whistling in the air. Like it's a Popeye scene. And nobody wants to eat the spinach. They're like, we're just going to let this one play out. I think I spit. Do I have more? I do. They said, will I calm down out there? Probably not. They're like, will you use my common sense? Like, oh shit, she ain't doing no drugs. I have money at the very least. She ain't doing no drugs. They were like, nah, I heard she's experimenting though. They said, what, dibble dabble? Some kid in the back said, what, is she going out there to play basketball? No. No. I'm apparently supposed to do the work for free. They're like, Mirta, don't you know what it means to be drafted by the country? No, bitch. Not really, right? They were like, this is really actually fucked up. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. And then I just heard potatoes, tomatoes, and greens. And they were like, that's not how it goes. But I said, that's the concern. They said, do we take out the con part? I said, I wish you would. They said, okay, that's not funny. I said, no, it really is not funny. They said, is that a negative? I said, yes, you are. They said, I don't know if this is a roast, a comedy skit, or one of Jimmy Fallon's fucking voicemails. Everybody went, oh, shit. Definitely one of his voicemails. All right. If he claims that I stole his shit, you tell him I said I highly doubt it. Only Robert Downey Jr. can say so. Because I don't remember Jimmy Fallon being in a... Was that a box shed? What the fuck were you in? Or was that the other guy? That was you, wasn't it? They're like, oh shit, we gotta go look for her after this. They're like, wait a minute. Look, everybody was like, wait, maybe we should rescind the eviction, because Mirta, where do they find these people? Well, it was all over his life on TV. And I don't want to give you any extra info. They're like, Mirta, you have to stop telling them to use. Am I telling them to use? Have you guys seen my brain damage? They're like, Mirta, shut up. That's not from the drug. I know it's not from the drug, but I have a secret. They're like, is it a mission? Well, I'm going to put it into a statement. I'm going to double down. I'm going to hit it twice. They said, what does that mean? I said, 1x1 maybe is not what you thought. They said, oh, shit. I don't even remember where I was now. They said, Mr. Slim Shady, wherever you are in life, I rebuke you from her. Go back to the man's. He was like, ah, fuck this. I need a crystal ass fucking container. I need to contain my own past. I said, yeah, he put it in an album. Everybody was like, oh shit. That's what we're supposed to do with our bullshit? Yeah, yourself. They're like, oh man. So wait, if I'm doubling down and I'm backing up, I don't know if I need sound effects. I don't even know if I can do it. Beep, beep, beep. Look, I had to put the meep in there too, because there's a bunch of you just popping up. Okay, wait a minute. I don't know, I just keep hearing tomatoes, greens, and beans, and something about chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side. And now I want some chicken noodle soup, but I just went to the grocery store. It's not working out for me today. But this egg sandwich is good. I still don't remember what I was talking about. Shit, I'm gonna have to go watch this video and play it back. Somebody said stop the track. They were like, which one's the ones in your arm? No, I don't do that. Oh, my brain damage. Here we go. They're like, oh, there it is. That's the memory deficit issue. I said, no, that's brain damage. Is it the memory part though? They said, why do you need to ask? We thought you were genius. And I said, well, that only comes around once every so often, I guess. They're like, where's that from? I don't know. I stole it from a bitch who looks like a rat. They said, how many of them are there? I said, they usually pile 5 to 6 to 8 in one home. They said, why do they do that? I said, because it's easy to take each other out once you put them in captivity like that. All right, anyway. Went too far. Back it up. I'm going to have to revise, edit, and write down some different shit talk in between what I got going on. They were like, look, all the celebrities over there are like, we're not saying it. We're saying it to each other. We might even tell some of you privately. That's our stuff out her mouth. I said, wow, that's really fucking interesting, because it's not really projecting through the air the same way you think it is, unless it is because it's coming out of my mouth and they just moved the gradient or the grid or whatever you want to fucking call it, and then rotated it so you can hear me in another area and then bitch and complain that I'm saying some shit you cannot take. Maybe that is the truth, because you shouldn't be taking the liberty on your own to be doing some shit that they want me to go out and do for free, as in figure you out. They're like, Mirta, you're not supposed to tell these people we're fucking kicking you out to go save the world. Bitch, you can't be doing this shit online. They are going to follow you. The more, the merrier. I hope it's mostly good people, and I hope that the bad people take each other out. Let's back up. Okay, we have some equations in this matter. They're like, Mirta, are your eyes twitching? I said, yeah, I got a lot of activity going on. They said, where is it? I said, it's in the brain chemistry. They said, nah, you ain't got shit up there. That shit look brain dead. I said, if it was so dead, I would be 6 feet under or just laid out. But you don't see me hanging over. Do you see my nod down? Anyway, this is what I did as a kid. And they were like, don't tell them that. And I was like, So basically, I put it all into a video, and then they snatch, grab, and throw it into their lyrics and say, I got nothing to do with it. But really, I'm just the whole kit and caboodle. I guess my name really is the format of something formal called They Can't Do It Unless My Ass Do It For Them. That's worse than Nike. I can't even wear Nike right now, because if Nike the fuck does not understand me, I think Adidas should. But those two don't know me like Reebok do. Okay, anyway. They're like, Mirta, your brain damage is not from drug abuse. Shut up. We all need it to live. Wink, wink. Remember? I said, oh shit, I played you out, and I thought the fucking good people would catch the ball and tell y'all to shut the fuck up. They didn't do that part, so I will. Anyway. In this matter and situation, if you are stupid because you have drop-topped your brain chemistry to sit at a level dumb calmness, you will make an even worse decision and come across something you think is a drug, snort it, smoke it, bang it, and definitely take your heart out. And if it does not do that, if that was their argument, you tell them I said, go fuck yourself. Because in my argument, where you lie, you become the problem that I get to shit talk. Now I just trumped you. You see that? I wouldn't be... They were like, don't say it. Don't say it. Look, they were like, oh, we're just going to say it. Don't fuck with a wild card.